Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We have an unboxing today of RAF, the Battle of Britain 1940. This is from Decision Games. This is the brand new Deluxe edition. This is a classic John Butterfield design, originally published in the 80s by West End Games. Its last few editions have been published by Decision. And we'll talk about what this includes. But one of those things is a nice, fat, giant 3-inch box. So I think I will have no problem getting all of the goodies back into this box, for which by itself I approve heartily. I have scratched the box with the knife. That is not the end of the world, but it's annoying. This is actually the second unboxing of this that I've done. I have an unboxing in the can that never got uploaded. This is my unboxing because I was impressed enough with it, having heard a lot about it over the years, to know that I wanted a copy for myself. The Battle of Britain is a very interesting topic also, of which, you have options for two-player games. But this is... Okay, so first of all, we'll talk about that in a second. Nice thick-sided, heavy 3-inch box at that. So this is a solitaire game, but it can also be played multiplayer. So the deal here is that there are 3 different rule books. And there are 3 essentially separate parallel games. There's Lion, in which you play the British. There's Eagle, in which you play the Germans. And there's Lion versus Eagle, in which you play it as a 2-player game. And you get a separate rulebook for all 3 of those things. Now, I think the original game was just you play as the British. So we'll take a look at this one first. It is a 24-page, black and white, not black and white, full-color rulebook on matte finish paper. Very standard, modern Decision Games layout. I'm not sure who's doing their layout. Rules layout by Chris Dixon and Richard Aguirre. They have come a long way in recent years in terms of their rules layout, in like the last 2 years or so. I find this rules layout very agreeable. Older Decision Games, depending on which game we're talking about, could be substantially less agreeable. Let me put it that way. There is quite a bit of playthrough video on YouTube about this. So the Eagle Solitaire rules here, we have same paper stock, 32 pages with some ads in the back. Again, playing as the Germans. This is something that the other Battle of Britain game that I have is the Burning Blue, which is a very interesting looking game, but it's got tons of hidden information in it. And while you could play it solitaire, I think you'd be losing a great deal. This, on the other hand, is designed to be played solitaire, but you can also play it as a 2-player game. And the 2-player rulebook is, once again, 32 pages. Apparently there's computer editions of these. I have heard good things about some of the Decision Games computer editions. I'll be honest, I am unwilling to drop the... for one thing, I don't own an optical drive anymore. So there's that, because nobody buys... in the video game world, very few physical copies are sold anymore. Let me put it that way. So those really need to be sold digitally through somebody, and Decision should work on that. Okay. Once again, full color, reasonably heavy matte finish paper. All looks good. Back to the box. Here is our traditional Decision Games historical background booklet. I have spoken elsewhere about how much I do appreciate that Decision puts these things in their boxed games. Fantastic that this is here. Now, of course, if you're buying an S&T game, then you have the magazine, which has articles about the topic that the game is about. So, you're getting that with the magazine games, too. I'm really glad that they've carried that over into the boxed games, which is not something that SPI did. So we have what looks like a 16-page historical background booklet here, loaded with information about the planes. I love this feature. I really would love to see this be a thing that is more widely adopted across the publication side of the hobby. Decision Games is really good with this kind of thing. GMT does it occasionally too, and I certainly appreciate it when they do. So let's look at, what do we got here next? We have, I don't know what this is. Okay, this is a display. Here's a German planning board where you do your mission planning. Here's a combat results table. These are very typical Decision Games player aids here. These are on a light cardstock. I'm not sure if there's only one of each in the box, but that would also be pretty typical of Decision. On the other hand, it's a solitaire. At least to some extent, it's a solitaire game. So in this particular case, I don't think I can really criticize that very much. We have a counter sheet, and I want to say that there is only one counter sheet, 176 counters. That's about one counter sheet. And these are, if I'm not mistaken, 5/8" counters on what I would say is a slightly less than medium weight white core stock. A little bit thin. This is from a few years ago. It's not thin enough that I have a serious problem with it, but somebody will. The game looks good aside from that. We have an insert. Now, in this case, there's cards, so unless you want these cards rattling around in the box, you kind of need to have an insert. I, on the other hand, will almost certainly discard the insert. In fact, I am willing to send this to the recycling container right now. We have 3 decks of cards, which we're not going to open for the purposes of this unboxing video. We do have a very nice, however, mounted map board. So let's see if we can extract it from the bag without ruining either the bag or the board. Usually I can do that, not always. All right. I admit, and I've said this before, that when Decision started making games with mounted maps, that I was concerned. Not because Decision had a history of problems with mounted maps. They had no history with mounted maps. But because there were plenty of examples back in the day. There's 2 sides to this thing. There were plenty of examples back in the day of publishers with really shabby mounted maps. On those occasions when 3W did a mounted map, for example, that map was garbage. All right. So what we have here is side 1 of the map, which is the Lion and 2-player side. And we see that it has a map of southern England here, which is upside down, but we'll just have to get used to that, I suppose. And a lot of tracks and displays. And then if we flip it over, which I will try to do without destroying anything, this is going to be the Eagle map. And it is a quite different looking map, actually. Anyway, it turned out that first mounted map game from Decision, I was really happy with the mounted map. That game was D-Day at Omaha Beach, by the way, which is a fantastic game. And I was very happy with the quality of the mounted map. There were some errata in it, unfortunately, in that particular edition. But hey, you win some, you lose some. So we can get all of this stuff back in the box, I think. And I think I will not have a problem. From what I can see here, I will be able to get a counter tray and all 3 decks of cards stored neatly in this box, thanks to the fantastic decision on the part of somebody at Decision, to put it in a 3-inch box. RAF, The Battle of Britain, 1940. Both solitaire and 2-player. Looks fantastic. I've heard nothing but good things about this thing over the years, and I cannot wait to give it a try. So thank you for watching. If you have found this video helpful or informative, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to help support Ardwulf's Lair, please do check out the Patreon, the Ko-Fi, and the merch store in the video description. Until next time, thanks again for watching, and happy wargaming.